passes made me realize how many questions remain unanswered, some about individual rights, others about the role of constitutional structure in promoting liberty, still others about the balance of power between the national and state governments. That explains why this book picks up where the last book left off, and why a few parts of the book, mainly in Chapter 4, borrow, in places, from 51 Imperfect Solutions, and elaborate on points initially made there. The same is true of a few other parts of the book, mainly in Chapter 6, which borrow in places from State Constitutional Law, The Modern Experience, 3rd edition, 2020. Introduction. For better, for worse, or for more of the same, this is a sequel. After writing 51 Imperfect Solutions, I learned two things. I needed to mention other ideas for protecting individual rights under our 51 constitutions, many of them learned from engaging state court judges and lawyers about our state charters. And I needed to tell the other half of the story, the role structure plays in the state and federal constitutions in protecting freedom. Everything in law and politics, including individual rights, comes back to divisions of power and the evergreen question, who decides? Do the states, the federal government, or both have authority over the matter? Within each government, how does the relevant constitution delegate power to the legislature, the executive branch, and the judiciary? Our state and federal constitutions give surprisingly different answers to many of these questions and to the control the people retain over public policy decisions and the officials who make them. But who would know? For too long, American law has taken a one-sided view of these questions, focusing on the U.S. Constitution's answers to these questions and rarely considering, sometimes not considering at all, our 50 state constitutions' answers to them. A true understanding of American constitutional law requires attention to both. A focus on just one side of the balance not only slights the role of our state constitutions in American government, but it also obscures an encompassing view of each system. Structure and individual rights. 51 Imperfect Solutions told stories about state and federal individual rights as judicially enforced by the state and federal courts. Stories about equality in educational opportunity over the last 50 years, about limits on the police to investigate crimes under the exclusionary rule over the last 120 years, about prohibitions on involuntarily sterilizing individuals at the height of the eugenics era in the early 20th century, and about protecting the rights of minority religions and dissenting voices in the midst of the patriotic fervor needed to get us through World War II. These stories, and others like them, cover the most resonant of constitutional rights, the music to our ears rights. Past and present, these guarantees speak to us as individuals, to what we expect the legislative and executive branches of government will do for us, and to what we hope the courts will protect if these other branches of government let us down. Because individual rights are the easiest to understand, they protect us, after all. They are the ones most often taught in our schools, and thus are the most recognizable constitutional rights. They're important, too. In the compound Republic of America, Madison reminds us in Federalist No. 51, a double security arises to the rights of the people: the protection of liberty by the state and federal governments, as well as the separate state and federal courts. All individual constitutional rights, federal and state, have the potential to protect us. Pull back the lens, however, and it should become clear that individual rights are the least important, the least reliable constitutional guarantee.